Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GM Philosopher. This is GM Philosophy, the place where we empower game masters to run better games. I am recording this video to do three things. I have three goals for this video. Number one, I'm going to announce that I am launching a new game, a new D&D game, and I'm going to be recruiting for this game. So if you're seeing this video and it's relatively early, like, it's coming out this morning, so, look at the date on the video, there's a good chance you could maybe join my game if it hasn't been filled up already. And so that's part of it. Objective number two, I'm going to show you the game. I'm going to kind of walk you through the materials that I put together for it. I think it's sick. I think it's going to be awesome. This game is not going to be live streamed. And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, it's going to be a paid game. So I'm running this on StartPlaying games. So we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Also, because it's not live streamed and because it's a paid game, so it's going to be a private game, I'm going to be able to kind of go back to my Grimdark roots. The games I've been running that I live stream are more like PG-13 rated. I keep them that way, mostly for YouTube friendliness. But now, since this isn't going to be on YouTube, friends, we're going dark. We're going hard in the paint. I'm excited to show you basically the campaign that I put together here. And obviously, I'm just going to show you the stuff that the players are going to see before jumping in. But I'm very excited to show you that. And then number three, I've got some news about the channel I want to share with you. Basically news about what has been going on with me, why I've been so busy, what my plans are moving forward for GM Philosophy. Basically just the next chapter. I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of thought about this. And so I'm going to give you some of that. There's a little bit still that I'm not going to share, some really good stuff coming down the pipe. It's still a little bit of a secret while I work on it, but I'm going to share what I can. So stick around and you're not going to want to miss this. If you're looking for a good update, plus you want to see what I put together for this campaign, you're not going to want to miss it. So I'm going to share my screen and let's dive into first basically the game announcement and then looking at the materials. All right, everyone. So here is basically the stuff for my game. It's going to be on StartPlaying Games, $20 a session, 2 needed to start with a maximum of 6. It's going to be, so this is the weird part. It's going to take place on Monday mornings, 1 a.m. to like 3 to 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So Central Standard Time, 3 to 4 hour sessions. And here, that seems like a really weird time, I know, but listen, hear me out. Because I'm working full time and because I have to be available for my job between basically 8 a.m. and midnight every day of the week, right? So if I want to plan ahead, like I have open availability. So my job could schedule me anytime every week from 8 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. So if I were to try to schedule this game in that time block, I can't do that because I have to be able to show up to work. I also have to be able to show up for the game. So those things can't like overlap. But here's what's going on. Like 95% of the time, Tuesdays are one of my days off at work. That's how it shakes down. So it's like I get off work Monday night, and I usually work Monday nights. Get off work Monday night at like 11, come home, take care of the dog, eat some dinner, smash an energy drink, boom, at 1 a.m., ready to dive into the campaign, play for 3-4 hours, awesome, and then going to bed and sleeping in on my day off. That's the plan. And I'm pretty sure it'll work well, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's why the weird timing. So if you also have a weird schedule and you don't get to play with people during like normal times, then this might be a good campaign for you. So it's called The Darkest Dawn, a sandbox D&D 5e Grimdark campaign from level 1 to 20. Tagline here is, "The war is over, the reckoning has begun." So here's the information about it. The Darkest Dawn, gritty, dark, fantasy journey from level 1 to 20. I want to go all the way with this one. Very excited about this. The war is over, but the North still bleeds. Raiders, deserters, and worse stalk the frozen wilds. Law is gone. What happens next is up to you. Basically, this is taking place in my homebrew world state of Regenesis, and I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to show you something about that real quick. So Regenesis is my homebrew world state, and that's basically this world. I've even reworked this. So for example, and it's kind of hard. Oh, I can move it like this. Okay. For example, when we were playing in the Barren Lands, we were playing up here in Northskull. Like Northgard is here now on the official map. That was like, a fort we encountered toward the end of the Barren Lands. The Haunting at Ashborough takes place in Thyrendor. Here's Ashborough on the main map. My home group, like basically the group that I was playing with at home before my life kind of fell apart and I had to kind of cancel my games because everything got crazy. We were playing in like Amaranthine. They were playing that they were immigrants from Valara who going to Amaranthine. The reason they were immigrants from Valara is because there was a war. Dracoria invaded Valara. And then I had another game. Our Dunes of Fate campaign was based in Sahuret in the desert, kind of south of Zareth Kahet here. So, this is just going to be another chapter, and it's going to take place here, actually, north of Amaranthine in the wilderness section of Western Elissoria. So this is going to be south of Northskull, north of Sahuret. And I'm going to show you another table here. Give me one moment. So here's the map I put together for this. Basically, it's Western Elissoria. Amaranthine is down here on the coast, as you can see, and we've got some stuff fleshed out here. So this is going to be the setting. Players are going to start somewhere kind of in the wilderness here, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But I just wanted to kind of show you this map. I'm no super amazing pro map maker. Hot take, whenever this gets rolling enough to where I have the extra money to do it, I'm so excited to hire people to make maps for me and to hire to do all kinds of things for me. But right now, because we got to get the money going into this business, it's a one-man show. So boom. All right, so that just gives you an idea of kind of where this is taking place and what this all means. Now, about the adventure. The Darkest Dawn is a sandbox-style grimdark fantasy campaign where player choices shape the world as much as the dice do. Starting at level 1 and advancing all the way to level 20 in my homebrew world state setting of Regenesis, this game's for players who crave long-form storytelling, high-stakes choices, and character-driven drama that unfolds in a land broken by war and soaked in blood. The North has fallen into chaos. The great armies of the city-state of Amaranthine are gone, battered backward by a relentless and unexpected pushback from the barbarian tribes who inhabit the mountainous North Country. But the scars of this brutal 2-year military campaign remain. Raiders pillage from the highlands, deserters carve out fiefdoms in ruined towns, and the remnants of noble houses grasp for power in the vacuum. Amid this, whispers of treasure, prophecy, and long-buried powers stir beneath the jagged, red, snow-covered mountains to the north. There is no guiding hand, no stable local government, and no safety net. You decide what matters. You decide what's worth saving or burning. This is a world that expects something from you. Every NPC has goals and fears. Every region has its own politics, threats, and secrets. You might gather and lead armies, broker alliances, fall in love, or become the very monster your party set out to destroy. There is a main story arc beneath the surface, but it's not on rails. You will discover it, shape it, and maybe survive it, or maybe not. The tone is grounded, dark, and emotionally rich. Violence has consequences. Heroism has a cost. Your character's arc will matter, and you'll have every opportunity to grow them, psychologically, morally, mythically. In-game romance, interpersonal dynamics, and complex relationships are an expected feature of this campaign, not just flavor. This doesn't mean everyone must participate in the romance part, but opportunities will arise and emotional investment is part of the world's heartbeat. Combat is meaningful, cinematic, and frequent, but it's not the only way forward. Exploration, wilderness survival, social intrigue, and tough moral choices are woven into the core of the experience. You'll be rewarded for clever thinking, strong RP, and immersion just as much as you are for landing the killing blow. Mechanically, the rules are raw first, with rule of cool allowed at key moments, with plenty of room for flexibility and common sense. I mean, this is how I always run my games, but I feel like I'm encapsulating it in this pretty well, and there'll probably be a wide swath of players who will be exposed to this that haven't gamed with me, obviously. So, as most people in the world haven't gamed with me, as opposed to those who have. So, this is like describing my GM style, actually, like when we get to the core of it. If you know your character well and come prepared, the game will move smoothly and stay dynamic. This campaign is for players who are ready to show up, stay engaged, and co-create something memorable. Whether you're a master tactician or a role-play first player, what matters most is that you're present, respectful, and ready to help the table thrive. If that sounds like your kind of story, you'll fit right in. My game style is combat light, role-play heavy, rule of cool, and sandbox. I don't know if I had any others. Nope, that was all. And then there's a little bit about me, and then we have the character creation stuff. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. You can read over this because in the description you can find a link to this if you want to join my game. Links in the description. I have my homebrew rules, my new improved homebrew rules in here. I have my safety, like lines and veils information, all my content disclaimers. I probably used about 80% of the ones available because every time I saw something, I'm like, nah, that's probably going to be in my game at some point. So lots of disclaimers. Super pumped about this. So yeah, like I said, links in the description. If you want to jump in on this, you're welcome to. It's going to be up on StartPlaying games. And we might start as early as this Monday if we get at least 2 players. If not, it'll just roll over to the next Monday. We'll just keep at it until we fill it up and get it rolling. All right. Now, with that being said, we have a bit of news to go over. I want to talk about this. I want to kind of talk about how this fits into the news and the future for GM philosophy. Okay, so basically, here is what is going on. I've never run a paid game before, and I have often thought to myself that I may not be interested in it. However, my recent life experiences have kind of reshaped my view of this, and that's part of what has led me to want to launch a paid game. So first of all, I'm a super busy person, like incredibly busy. And because I'm in the unique position where I run literally a, TTRPG YouTube channel and community, which if you want to join our Discord, links in the description, the thing is that I've come into a place in life where where my time is becoming my most scarce resource. Creating all the content I create takes up all of my free time, like literally so much free time. I work 8 hours, 5 days a week at my job. And then I literally work about 4 hours a day, 7 days a week on GM philosophy. So making YouTube videos takes up the majority of that. Doing some Discord community stuff takes up time in that. And creating products and trying to monetize my channel so that I can grow it and it can become better in the future. Now, here's the thing. The goal of GM Philosophy is to empower game masters to run better games. Eventually, I see this as being a company that employs, people to help do a lot of different things. I don't foresee this just being a hobby YouTube channel for me forever. Right now, it's more like a hobby because it doesn't even quite pay its own bills right now, like it was before my life kind of, went into a bit of a hard reset mode. As those of you who followed me for a while know, I went through quite a few different things, had basically an entire life reset happen in my life. And there's a lot there. There's a lot, guys, that you may not know about, but let's just say that, my life really took a 180 turn in like 3 different categories all at the same time. And those of you who've been with me a long time know I had to shut down the channel for a while, basically run on skeleton mode. I was publishing for a while, I was publishing only like 1 video every 2 weeks. Just, basically the channel was put on hold while I kind of was getting my life sorted back out and sorting out my personal business. It also led me to understand that I wanted to build GM Philosophy into a more sustainable platform moving forward. And I love the idea of publishing daily content. I love the idea of this being a hub where people who want to be game masters, run better games, can show up here and they can get a daily dose of whatever it is, whether it be my opinion about something or gaming tips or resources, whatever. And then we have the community. By the way, I've got a couple of resources I want to share with you. I have my free ebook, 20 plus years of running games condensed down into 10 minutes, top 10 tips. Grab that 10-minute GM mastery kit. It's free. You can grab it in the description. Basically, this is my number one way. If you want to level up your next session, don't know where to start, grab this book. This will help you. Number 2, I've published a book called The Advanced Art of TTRPG Game Mastery. This is a 50-page ebook. It's basically my treatise on how to run emotionally resonant games that actually transcend gameplay. If you want to run those kinds of games where your players are literally on the edge of their seat, their phones are put away, they're in it to win it, they're drawn in, you have emotional engagement, those games that just vibe and hit. Like if you want to run those types of games, which has been the majority of my experience once I kind of figured out how to do it, I lay out all my tactics, insights, philosophies on how to do that in this ebook. I believe this is probably one of the best things I've ever created, probably the best book I've ever created, especially in the realm of TTRPGs. And I believe this book is going to go down as being a very influential book when people look back on the history of TTRPGs and game mastering, because I believe it takes a lot of things to the next level, a level that not everyone is talking about. And so if you want to grab that, it's available for a very special introductory price, links in the description. Help you really take your game to an emotionally resonant level where your players will be, basically teaching you how I keep my players deeply engaged in the game and make it meaningful, make it transcendent even as an experience. And I've had just such great experiences with that, with great players and great games that have just really been a huge part of my life. I've been a nerd for a long time, my friends. I've been a nerd for a long time. So with that being said, here's what I plan. As I begin this journey of doing paid games, first of all, I'm going to get more experience. I haven't run a game now since I ran the Barren Lands. So, I'm going to get to jump back into it with a whole new range of insights to share with you, also people on the channel. Also, I'm going to be able to share some videos about how to become a paid game master. For those of you who are interested in that, this direction is going to help me to help you in the paid game master range. So I'm going to be creating probably a whole swath of content about basically getting paid to be a game master, which I actually think, to be honest, it's a lot of work to be a game master. And as I think about it, and as we move forward, I kind of think that it's going to be a new frontier for game masters, helping them to kind of make ends meet in this world that's getting more and more expensive by charging for their very valuable services. And I don't mean charging at your kitchen table with your friends. I just mean that if it's a skill you're really good at, it's something you could leverage as a side hustle. You could also really help to bring quality games to people who may not have access to it in other ways. There are some people who just can't find a good free game because game masters can be very scarce. And so I kind of think running paid games could be actually a very legitimate service. I've always thought that, but I think it's going to become more mainstream than it's ever been. So that's another thing that I think is really important. And I'm going to try to take my channel a bit in that direction. So this experience will help me to get some insight into that, because I've literally never run a paid session. So as I go down this rabbit hole, it's going to help me to create new content, new insights for all of you awesome people. And that's kind of the news. I do have other news coming as far as channel monetization goes. I have a couple products that are in development right now that I'm very excited about, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be probably a month till you see anything new in terms of like products coming down the pipe. For now, the most important thing is my advanced art of TTRPG game mastery. That product is definitely my favorite thing that I've released, I think, in a long time, maybe ever. Probably the most helpful for game masters who actually want to improve their craft and really go from like, that kind of intermediate level to more advanced level. So that's kind of the news. I've been very excited. I've been making some of these reaction videos to news stories and stuff recently, which I really like. And I think I'm going to continue to do that sometimes. So we're just continuing the mission here. I'm in it to win it. And I'm hoping that as I run some of these paid sessions, this will give me some extra kind of like income that'll help me to kind of reinvest in the channel, because that's what the channel, that's actually one thing we're running up against. I'm trying to run really high production. Like I'm trying to publish videos every day really consistently, and paying for all the tools it takes to do that efficiently. Plus, I do pay some people to help me on the Discord and things like that. So when you add all that together, the business isn't quite paying its own bills yet. And that's the first order of business, is kind of getting that sorted out. Huge thank you and shout out to those of you who have recently supported me, either by buying a product or by making a donation, buying me a coffee with my coffee subscription, Ko-Fi coffee, whatever you call it. Link to that's in the description as well. If you just want to support me and you like the daily content, you don't necessarily want to buy product, but you'd like to help support it, just donate a couple bucks, and every little bit helps at this point, because we're in the beginning stages of kind of the next chapter where we jump to the next phase, and I'm very excited about it. I think that the very best is yet to come, and I'm very pumped. So if you are interested in my game, a link is in the description, The Darkest Dawn, starting as early as possibly this coming Monday. And I'm very pumped. So thank you all for coming back for another episode of GM Philosophy in the Morning. Empowering game masters to run better games is the mission here. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.